Well, it's being dubbed grey divorce when older couples call it quits on their relationship later in life. And according to the experts, the trend is actually being driven by women.
So why are so many deciding to ditch their partners? And how can you spot the warning signs of a silver separation if you want to protect your marriage?
Here with more is relationship expert and counsellor Laura Press. Hi, Laura. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Why is it that women are more likely to initiate these grey divorces?
So women are wanting a whole lot more from marriages these days. They're looking for not like the connection, the love, the passion, but also the shared mental load. They're looking to not be the sole one who's doing everything in the household. And they're also wanting that equality in support around their dreams, goals and ambitions. And so they're just looking to extract a whole lot more. Now, obviously, this is not just women, but we're predominantly seeing it in women.
OK, you say this is happening now more than ever. Is society changing when it comes to accepting divorce at any age, or particularly later in life?
Definitely. There's a lot of books and movies and different things that are showing how kind of exciting and almost sexy it is to separate and be at an older age and be on your own, and the freedom that it creates. And while this would be true for some people, it's also important to know that obviously there's a whole lot of stress, strain and challenges that do come with this as well.
Yeah. OK. A lot of this has to do with redefining roles in relationships. Explain what you mean by that.
So what I mean is I see a whole lot of couples that will come to me and they've kind of fallen in haphazardly into their roles and responsibilities as a couple, and they assume that the other person is okay with it. And often when they assume, there can be a lot of friction, resentment and things like that because they're not on the same page around what they view as a good husband or a good wife, or what their actual roles and responsibilities should be. I guess once upon a time it was really well defined as to, what a role of a husband or a wife would be. Not so much anymore, but it's a great opportunity to define it for yourselves now, and it can be whatever you want it to be, which is great.
OK, so some people have been thinking about this for a long time and it's a long, bumpy road to get there, but often later in life divorces can come as a bit of a shock. So what are some of the biggest warning signs to watch out for?
Often a lot of women are feeling really burnt out, exhausted, underappreciated, overwhelmed, and they're just not getting that kind of support back. Also, there can be strained communication, fights, disagreements and things like that. So it's really important, if you're noticing those signs in your relationship, to kind of take a step back and go, right, well, what do we need to do here? Assess kind of the situation, and maybe you need to get support or have some honest conversations together so you don't end up in that divorce situation.
But Laura, quite often it's the fact that they've had kids, the kids have grown up, don't need them anymore. Suddenly they've looked at each other and go, oh, who are you? Who are you again? Wouldn't that be a reason why a lot of these silver separations are happening?
I see a lot of couples that get into that situation. They literally start looking at each other and go, I don't even know what to talk to you about. I don't think we have anything in common because we don't have to talk so much about logistics and moving parts with the kids. And they're kind of confused, and it's very stressful, obviously, to get to that part in your life and go, now what? Like, we're not connected. We're not in the space that we wish to be. So
how can you avoid that then?
So it's really important to decrease the mental load. Actually ask the question, how can I support you? So not all the stress, strain and pressure is on one person. Then you want to actually make sure you're showing appreciation. I know this sounds so simple, but it's one of the things that couples definitely do not do in relationships. Actually tell the person, I appreciate this, and show them with actions some appreciation. And also, let's break out of the mundane. We can get very stuck in kind of Groundhog Day in our relationship. There should be some fun and some joy, some date nights, some good stuff to look forward to. And design your partnership. You don't have to have your relationship look like anybody else's. And I think that's quite freeing if you think, well, actually, we can make this be however we want it to be, which is really important.
Break the mundane. Head off to Marble Bar and enter the undie race with your partner. That'll be great.
That'll definitely break the mundane.
See, I'm not a doctor like that. That's not an official.
Unless after 35 years of marriage you're seeing your partner in his undies.
Put your clothes back on. All right, Laura, thank you. We'll talk to you again soon. Thanks.
We're back after this.